Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, we got a decent card ahead of us here. We got 9 games in the NHL tonight, and then on the flip side, we have, I believe, nine in the NBA as well. So we're splitting it down the middle today, Tim. 9 in the NHL, 9 NBA. We'll get into those in just a minute here. But before we get into today's game, before we get to today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1-1 right, 1-1 wrong in the world of sports betting. And for me, it was a profitable day. Went 6-3 up 2.10 units. The NBA was strong. The NHL was good. NHL continues to be good for me the last 4 days. Now it was 15-4 heading into yesterday. So now 18-6 the last 4 days in the NHL. Started off with a loss with the Maple Leafs at minus 130. But the Florida Panthers come in at minus 125 for a nice little winner there. And that game I had circled for a few days comes through rather easily, plus 155 with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I said before the Sabres game that we were going to fade the Vegas Golden Knights against the Sabres and against the Blue Jackets. They lost both those games and gave up 7 and 6 in those games. They lost those games by a combined 13-5. So that was very nice to see there. Vegas is going to continue to struggle without Mark Stone in the lineup. Colorado Avalanche double result, minus 102. That was as easy as it gets. They were up 2-0 at the end of the first. They won the game 5-0. Or 4-0. 4-0? 5-0? What was it? I don't remember. 5-0. So they took care of business there. Easy winner there. Colorado double result, minus 102. It's a great way to get the number down from minus 500. And then the Calgary Flames laid a stinker to end the night. They lose, I think, 4-2 against the Seattle Kraken. So 3-2 in the NHL. But 3-1 in the NBA. Never in doubt. Memphis, Brooklyn over 207. Winner there. Landed on 208. It's nice to see something go my way in the NBA like that, where it wins by a point or half a point rather than losing by that much. LA, Milwaukee over 225.5 was my only loser yesterday. And then Utah, team total over 122.5, full game over 241.5, both winners there. So 3-1 in the NBA, 3-2 in the NHL, overall 6-3 up 2.10 units. So profitable day for me yesterday. I already locked in a couple plays in college basketball. I've doubled down on a hockey game so far, and that's about it. So
we were barely in the negative for the site yesterday. And when I say barely, it was negative 0.16 units. Started off with a ugly loser with Shifley United. Had them plus 2.25, and then they lose 6-0. It was 3-0 by the end of the 25th minute. So not fun there. Columbus winner, Toronto loser, Florida winner, NC State. It was a close game at halftime. 3-point game at halftime. I'm like, all right, might be able to pull this one off. They lose the second half by 12 points. No cover for me. Maryland East Shore. All right, got them plus 11.5. Looks good. They're only down 2 points at halftime, and they get outscored by 15 or 17 in the second half. Completely fell apart. At least one thing went right because the Clippers had a complete meltdown in the fourth quarter, and the Bucks -5 cover even without Giannis. That was nice. Montana State was a nice winner. Calgary loser, but the Lakers minus the 114. Nice little winner there. Ended up being slightly down, but it unfortunately it could have been better if our two college basketball teams held on in the second half. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way, but it is what it is, and we move on from it. Hopefully, we can have a positive day today.
There you go.
Joe's in the chat. Yo. He was with us with the Panthers, and then he faded us and won with the Bruins and the Kraken. And he also had the Bulls money line. They won outright in overtime. That was interesting to see. Under and VGK was a loss. What's up, bros? Blues cash my only bet last night. There you go. Love to see you. For Kennesaw. There you go. All right, Nick, do you want to start jumping into games?
Nope.
Okay. And we'll just sit here and stare at the screen awkwardly. All right, come on. Can we start talking hockey?
Yeah, I got you. Columbus Blue Jackets at the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Blue Jackets, the Penguins, minus 240 favorites in this game. A total of 6.5 in this spot. And I get it. The Blue Jackets are on a back-to-back. I get it. It's going to be Jet Graves in that because I believe last night was Tarasov when they got the job done against Vegas. But there's no way in hell I'm laying this number with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Line opened up at a 260. It's down to a 225. Line opened up at a 6.5. It's now down to a minus 108. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards the Jackets in this one here. And I have interest in Columbus in this game. I 100% have interest in Columbus in this spot. As we have 43% of the tickets are on the Penguins. No cash flow. 60% of the cash tickets are on the puck line for the Penguins, though. So 67% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the under, 1,900 tickets in the line, moving slightly towards the under. And I have this game projected way closer than that. Now I have this game. I have Jet Graves as a 0 because I don't think we have any stats on Jet Graves, or if we do, it's not a significant sample size in order to really have him have an effect on my projected line for this game. But when we look at these two teams, I mean, do you want Pittsburgh? It's their first game back after a road trip, which are always tricky because Pittsburgh lost the last. They were on the 4-game Northwest Pacific road trip, Pacific Northwest road trip, where they beat Vancouver in overtime and then lost to Seattle, lost to Calgary, lost to Edmonton. I think the Pittsburgh Penguins are to be faded in this spot, in general. And we have Columbus starting to play better. They won 5-2 against Chicago. They won 6-3 against Vegas. Their offense has kind of picked it up after struggling a little bit. I like Columbus in this spot. It's not that I love Columbus in this game. It's that this is not a Pittsburgh spot, and I would like to bet against the Pittsburgh Penguins in this spot here. So I'm seeing their team total at a 2.5 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I have them scoring around 2.9 goals, so I see slight edge here on their team total. I want to take the team total over and the money line here with the Columbus Blue Jackets against Pittsburgh. I get it. Pittsburgh is the better team, but minus 250 better team, you can get that out of here. Give me CBJ all day. Plus 210, team total over 2.5. And I get it. They're on a back-to-back, but I don't care. It's a long, first game back after a road trip.
Yeah, this is, I guess, then it would be a spot that they're both teams are in fade spots for me then. Because you got Columbus that is coming off of a big win versus the defending Cup champions in a blowout fashion. And then you got Pittsburgh on their way back from an out west road trip. Both of them are in bad spots, in my opinion, and I would want to fade both. But unfortunately, when they're playing each other, you can't fade both. So instead, I'm just going to not bet the game in general. So we'll start off the day, Nick, with a pass for me.
Fair
enough. But 3-2, Sela, Nickel State, Avs, first period, run line, Pens, money line, parlay. 2 losses, Kennesaw and Flames. Next one says Pens, money line, parlay. No. Although I wouldn't be betting Columbus. Pens, run line, no. Under in 6.5 in Penguins Jackets, under in the Panthers Devils. Good luck to you. You guys are up, Earle. What's up, Big Show? Bulls got lucky. Who did they play? Who did they even beat in overtime last night? Kings. They played the Kings last night. I was thinking Blue Jackets. I can't. Columbus off one of the biggest wins of the season. That's my point. So that's the only reason why I'm staying off of them. Pittsburgh is trash.
Yes.
Agree. Hello, Nick Sir.
Hello.
That's a basic rule we all need to remember. Don't back the Leafs at home early in the week.
Yeah.
Nick doesn't learn. Fade an AHL goalie. Morning, my brothers. Let's get it today. Good luck. Good luck to you, Stop Geo. Don't the Pens own Columbus? I believe everybody.
They've won 10 of the last 11 meetings, but this is the worst Penguins team we've seen during that run.
Gotcha. Let's head to probably the game of the day, Nick.
Yeah, and this game really puts me in an interesting spot.
It does.
I would prefer not betting against one team, and I would prefer not betting against the new coaching bump because yesterday the New Jersey Devils fired Lindy Ruff, and their interim head coach will be Travis Green. For those who do recognize that name, he was the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks a couple years ago. Line opened up at a 120. It's still 120. It got down to a minus 114 for Florida at one point, but there's really been no line movement on the side there. For the total, line opened up at a 6.5 minus 125. It's now a 6.5 at minus 108. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had a move towards. We've had no move on the side. 54% of tickets, 70% of the cash is on the Devils. 2,100 tickets in. The line's not moved. 89% of tickets and 80% and 60% of the cash on the over, and the line's moved towards the under. Maybe with the new head coach, they'll try to put up more of a focus on defense. But for me, I love the new coaching angle. It's usually an auto bet for me. It's not for me here. It's not the right opponent to start it off with. And I get it. Florida's on a back-to-back. Cool. I really don't care about that. Florida's been the best road team in hockey. They're 22-8-2 on the road this year. They've won, I believe, 13 of their last 14 road games. They're only a minus 120. And the New Jersey Devils are not coming in on a good situation. I get it. It's the first game with the new head coach. Also, it's their first game back from the California road trip, where they had one day off in between. I don't know if it's enough to push the Devils into any type of change. Their goaltending still sucks. Akira Schmid is going to be in net today against it's going to be Schmid versus Stolars. There you go. There's the name. And I just don't trust the Devils in this game here. With the new head coach, I get it. That's supposed to be the play. It's the new head coaching bump. But it's Panthers or nothing for me. And maybe with the new coaching bump, it's enough to keep me off the Panthers, but it's not going to put me on the Devils today.
I'll be on the Devils today. It is I know you made the points. I know Florida's been great, but I've been backing every single coaching firing. Besides the Hornets, because I didn't even recognize that their coach got fired and then they won 3 games in a row. It's just one of those plays that I don't want to say betting blindly, but I kind of been betting it blindly. Whenever we would see this where a coach gets fired, you back that team. I'm on the Devils today. Once I saw the notification, I knew I was going to bet it. That is great that the Panthers are as good as they are. I don't really care. So Florida New Jersey for me.
Yeah, I think it's enough to keep me off of Florida, but I'm not going to bet the Devils.
I'm on 2-leg moneyline parlay college basketball, Oklahoma and Virginia Tech. Oklahoma's got Cincinnati, they're 5.5-point favorite, fine. And Virginia Tech's got Louisville. Good luck to you. It's minus 111. I don't hate that. Seems juicy enough. Panthers, no. Panthers all day. I would pay up to minus 180. No.
No.
Jokic triple-double, yes. Good morning. Good morning. No chance I'm backing the Devils here against Florida. I know nobody's going to want to, but that's going to be the play. The trap line here, exactly. Morning. Panthers, Winnipeg for me. Kraken 1-5 all-time versus Jets.
There
you go. Morning, Nicholas Handy. How about Baylor last night? Yeah, they ended up coming out in the second half and taking care of business. I didn't bet that game. I was this close to betting Texas. I'm happy I didn't, because that would have been very frustrating. Finally, some line changes will be made by the devs.
Yep.
Yeah, will be. Panthers, no. Coming back like that, yeah, that was a crazy cover for them. Best bet on the board is Jets in regulation. Nick Mo saying that he loves you.
Interesting.
Illinois and Florida. Yep, I'm on both. If you watched Ballin' Out last night, I gave out both. So, yes, I like those. Let's add to this one, Nick. This one should be fun.
Yeah, this is a tricky game. We have the Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins. The Oilers minus 130 favorites, total 6 in this game. Both teams, I think, in bet against situations when we get into this here. Line opened up at a 115. It's up to a 124 for Edmonton. So we've had a move towards the Oilers. Line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 101. It's down to a 6. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Oilers in this spot here. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 91% of tickets and 94% of cash is on the Oilers, 3,600 tickets in, which explains the line move towards the Oilers. And we have 57% of tickets, 57% of tickets, and 63% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. And the line moving towards the under, which is kind of interesting there. Let's take a look at at my projections for this game here, where I have this game at a pick 'em. I get it. It's a back-to-back for the Bruins in this spot, which is obviously not a bet on spot. They're coming in off of a big win against a division rival, and now they're playing an out-of-conference team. Granted, the Oilers are not a team you really want to overlook, or not a team that you're going to look past. They've won 4 in a row, but this is their first game on the road. They had one day they played at home against Pittsburgh. They won 6-1. One day off, and now they're in Boston. So this could be a tricky spot for Edmonton as well, with the travel being the way it is. I see no value on this game whatsoever. So this one's a simple pass for me. But both teams are in bet against situations, in my opinion.
I agree. Both teams are in bet against situations. Maybe an over could be in play for this game.
I was 6. I lean that way.
I think you could definitely see some goals, especially on the Edmonton side, because Edmonton has been one of the better offensive teams this year. So you could see something like that. Maybe a draw. These are two teams that are fighting for, well, not really fighting for playoff spot. Bruins are still, I guess, in the picture for the President's Trophy. And Edmonton's trying to work their way up to the top of that division, although it's going to take a lot. So these two teams probably don't care if each other gets a point. Maybe a draw in this game, but I'm probably staying away from this one. Should be good hockey to watch.
Yeah, it could definitely be a nice little draw spot.
Yeah, no, I'm not betting this one either. I have to have a real reason to bet hockey games. So Barkov had a sick assist yesterday.
Insane. Yeah.
Any MLB today? No.
We'll wait till regular.
Well, wait. Yeah, we're waiting until the regular season to start. College baseball, I'll have in a little bit. Just spilled all over my breakfast potatoes. Oh, damn, they were so good. Had one. That's so disappointing.
That hurts to hear.
Oilers money line and Hyman goal. Oh, Hyman scored 2-2 now.
Yeah, Hyman goal, absolutely Hyman goal.
Let's go to this one, Nick.
Yeah, I had full intentions on backing one team in this game, but I looked at the price in this game. I'm like, hell no. So let's get into it here. The New York Islanders are hosting the St. Louis Blues, minus 175. We're starting to see minus 180s for the New York Islanders now. The total is 6 in this spot. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 108. Still a 6 at minus 108. Line opened up at a 170. It's up to a 173 on BetOnline. So we've had a move towards the Islanders, and we've had a move towards and we've had no move on the total in this game here. And we have 80% of the tickets and 95% of the cash is on the Islanders in this game, and the lines move towards the Islanders slightly. 80% of the tickets are on the over in this game, and the line's not moved in that aspect. I wanted to bet the New York Islanders in this game. I was looking at this spot. I'm like, this could be a nice little spot for the Islanders. The Blues are coming in off of a shootout game last night. It's going to be Hofer in net. Now, Hofer's been good, but they're on a back-to-back. They're traveling. The Islanders are finally starting to play well. And then I see the line is minus 175. I'm like, that's not going to happen. Not even an Islanders minus one's worth it in this spot here because I had the Islanders projected around 140 in this game. So seeing it at that number, it's Blues or nothing, but situationally, I don't want the Blues in this spot, though. And I have this game projected for 5.77 goals, so it's a slight lean towards the over if you can get a 5.5. But this is not a spot I'm particularly looking to get involved with. Minus 190 I'm starting to see for the Islanders. Now, this is outrageous, this number that the Islanders are laying. And eventually it's going to be one of those how far is too far type of things where I'll probably have to look towards the Blues. If it gets any higher, if I can get like plus 180 with the Blues, if it keeps climbing up, I might grab some St. Louis in the spot. But not a chance I'm taking the Islanders at this number.
I'm kind of interested in the Blues. I know the line's kind of moved. I know they're in a bad spot, but this line is way too wide. I don't think the Islanders have been playing better as of late. We'll give them that. They've won 3 straight games. But this is not a particular spot that I want to go and try to like lay this much on the Islanders. Especially do they have Sharks are coming up next. Sharks and Anaheim. Oh, an out west road trip that's concluded by a road game in Buffalo.
That's a weird spot. That's a scheduled loss right there after a long road trip like that.
Don't say that. They're against the state. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. No, this is lean towards the Blues, if anything. I might end up getting to it. This is just way too wide of a line.
Yeah, there's no way I was lying.
From Wendy's. That sucks. Blues money line or nothing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Give me the Blues money line. What Isles team is going to show up?
Yeah, the Isles team that's shown up the last few games have looked pretty good. They've beaten the Stars, the Red Wings, and the Bruins the last 3 games.
Oilers are passed. Hard for me to trust either team right now. There you go. That's out of this game, and I feel like there's a team we can trust here, but minus 210, I don't know.
Yeah, no, the Preds have been hot as of late, but when is the regression going to start for
I don't think it does.
Nashville? I don't see them winning like this the rest of the year.
I could see them making a run in the playoffs.
I think they'll be a good bet against if they get Colorado in the first round or something along those lines. Because Colorado will take care of business with the Preds in 5 games. So line opened up at a 210, it's down to a 215, it's down to a 210. So we've had a slight move towards Les Habitants in this game here. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 108. It's a 6 at minus 120 now. So we have had a move towards the over, and we've had a move towards Les Habitants in this one here. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot where we have 70% of the tickets are on the Canadiens money line, but 80% of the tickets are on the puck line for the Preds. So that's where all the money's coming in, obviously, with the line being as wide as it is. That's not a surprising factor. 60% of the tickets and 64% cash on the under, and the line moving towards the over is kind of interesting here in this spot. I have Samuel Montembeault and UC Saros as our projected goaltenders in this game here. And when you look at this spot, obviously Nashville is coming in playing some damn good hockey, and it's pissing me off because it's killing my Blues future. This winning streak that Nashville has gone on, and I would like for them to start losing. I have this game projected actually pretty closer towards a pick'em than this game actually is, and my numbers have been projecting regression from Nashville for a while now, and all they've done is win 8 games in a row, including sweeping a 5-game road trip. And now they've won 3 in a row at home. Are the Montreal Canadiens a team to do that? I don't know. But when we look at what the Canadiens have done this year, they have been, I think, one of, if not the best ATS team this year in hockey. Because they, I believe, lead the league in 1-goal losses. Because ATS-wise, they're 39-22. The only one that there's only one team that has covered more puck lines than the Montreal Canadiens, and that is the Philadelphia Flyers. And that one probably is a split of favorites and dogs too. Canadiens on the puck line are 20-10 on the road this year as well. They're covering as puck line dogs or road dogs pretty often. And I think this is a spot where we can see them cover as dogs here in this spot. The only problem is it's minus 140. For me, it's Canadiens or nothing. And do I want to step in front of the Preds right now? Not particularly, but I think actually maybe the best way to do this is a team total over with the Canadiens. The Canadiens have been scoring goals as of late. They've been hitting the team total overs but losing. Minus 115, team total over 2.5. I'll take that with Montreal in this spot. Team total over 2.5 for me with Montreal.
It's hard for me to want to fade Nashville right now, who has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. This has been one of the hottest team. This is the hottest team in hockey right now. And I'm not buying into any futures with them at the moment just because this is probably the worst price to get them at because of how hot they are. But you look at them now, and Nick, as much as you hate it, now the Nashville Predators have a 76.3% chance, according to Money Puck, to make the playoffs, which is better than Vegas. So I look at this one. This is definitely a spot that I would go after. I feel like you could get a good run from Nashville in the playoffs. Am I laying 220 or a puck line on them here? No, just because you never know. Maybe because Montreal is a very scrappy team. Maybe as crazy as it sounds, how about a draw?
Yes, a draw. I would definitely say draw in this game.
I think a draw could be inclined for this game.
You don't think this game could be 3-3 heading into overtime?
That's why I'm not betting Nashville puck line. Is I think this game could go to overtime. So kind of a big thing there. So we'll see how that goes. It's a lean towards the draw, if anything. Montreal. Yes, sir. Justin's with me, Nick. Stack pods is Kansas minus 10 and a hook. I like it. I'm on it. Trap game for the Preds. Could be.
Could very well be.
No way the Preds should be minus 200. The way that they're playing, yes, they should be. Yeah, or yes, they can be. But I'm not laying that, obviously. But yeah, they could easily be minus 200 in that game. This one I think might be a little bit wide, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's get into this one here. Seattle Kraken taking on the Calgary Flames. I'm just quickly punching in the numbers from last night's game for the Kraken so I can have my projections ready here. There we go. All right. We have the Winnipeg Jets minus 175 favorite, total of 5.5 in this game. So a low projected total, but I do have this game projected lower, so that's fine. I actually agree with this 5.5 price tag. Line opened up at a minus 110 for the over 5.5. It's now minus 101. So we've had to move towards the under here in this spot. Line opened up at a 180. It's down to a 165 for Winnipeg. So we've had to move towards the Kraken, and we've had to move towards the under in this game here. We have 44% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the Kraken, 1,000 tickets in, which explains the line move towards the Kraken. 57% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the under. The lines move towards the under. So everything checks out here for this game. I have this game projected for the Jets to be minus 150 favorites. So I think this line should be around where it is. And I have this game projected for 5.2 goals. So I think that this line is slightly towards the under for me. Is this a game that grades out well for me? No, not well enough for me to make a play on it. So it's going to be a pass for me in this spot. But I would lean towards the under in this game if I had to bet anything.
Jets are starting to look good again. They've won now 6 out of their last 7. Only loss was on Leap Day against the Stars. And they've just been starting to win games. Kraken's an interesting team because they're one of those bubble teams on the outside looking in right now. They're coming off of a nice win last night versus Calgary. So it could be a little bit of a letdown spot for that. This is another one of those games. It would be a lean towards the Jets. Lean towards the Jets on the puck line. Although I believe the Jets are just finishing a road trip. They played at Dallas, at Carolina, and at Buffalo. This is their 3rd game in 4 days. And this is their first home game since the 27th. So it's been they had about a week away from home. Could be a little bit of a tricky spot for them. That's why I'm going to just stay away from this game. Should be an interesting game or definitely a big game for playoff pictures. But with me in this one, it would be lean towards Winnipeg, but not enough for me to want to bet it.
Sure. Yeah.
Jets money line at -175. You're never catching me laying that much juice. Jets versus Kraken, not the Flames. The Kraken just beat the Flames last night. Is that okay? One free pick, another system play.
Other than system plays.
I don't really think. I'm on Kansas, and I'm on the over in Florida. Kraken loses 1 win Friday. What do they play on Friday? They win. They play. Oh, they play Winnipeg again on Friday. Got it. Morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Jets in regulation -110. My only thing is I'm worried about that it's a bad spot for the Jets. That's my only worry in this game.
I don't like them after a long road trip.
Successful night in the NHL, except for the over in the Leafs and the Flames. Could see the Kraken winning. Over 6 in Nashville. Going for 6 Nashville puck line again. Okay.
1 for 6. Wow.
Blues money line and the over.
I can see the Blues at that price.
Quick 3 blue and gold parlay. Blues, Predators, Nuggets. I like it. And you got the Canucks last night at even money, which I think it doesn't that doesn't take us into the next game because we get this beauty of a game, Nick.
It's my favorite game of the day. Let's get into it here. We have the Arizona Coyotes and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Yotes -250 favorites with a total of 6 in this game. Yes, the Coyotes, a team that was on a 14-game losing streak, 3 games after they break their losing streak, are -250 favorites. Line opened up at 235 and it's gone up to a 240 on BetOnline. We got to move towards the Coyotes in this game. The line opened up at 115. It's down to a 108 for the over 6. I saw 5.5 last night, and I bet a 5.5 last night. 62% of tickets are on the over, 1,375 tickets in. 70% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the Coyotes. Now, am I laying even money on a puck line or -155 on a -1 line or anything like that with the Yotes? No, there's a better way to bet the Yotes today. And I would suggest definitely betting the Yotes today because it's Arvik Soderblom. That's the main thing behind this game is it's Soderblom. I have them projected for 3.85 goals. So I took the team total over 3.5 here with the Coyotes. I got the over 5.5 at -130 last night. You can get the 6. I don't think you can get the 5.5 for that price anymore. Because let me see on Bovada, you can get 5.5 -150. No, thank you. But I really like the Yotes in this spot. At this number, I think there's value on the Yotes. Team total over 3.5 at -125 in the full game over 6. I have this game projected at 6.5. With Soderblom in net, it's just bet against for the Chicago Blackhawks, and I think that's the case with this here. So I'm on the Yotes team total over 3.5, and I'm on the full game over 5.5. I would still play it at a 6.
Okay. I'm passing on this game. I'm currently capping college baseball instead. This is a 1-800-GAMBLER. No, thank you. I'm never laying 250 on the Coyotes, never taking their puck line. You have fun with that game, Nick. And you can go ahead and bet that game. Enjoy.
I will. I really like this game.
Sounds good. Jump back to the chat. I'm quickly going to be putting in my college baseball plays into the chat in a minute. Thank you.
Right. Where'd you leave off?
That shows 5 comments. So this one.
Providence, UNLV, Boise State. Let's take a look here.
UNLV, I thought, you know what? That might be a play that I completely missed and I need to have.
Looks like it.
Yeah, UNLV is going to be a play.
Providence. Where's Providence? Against Georgetown, we have a slight edge on Providence in that game, about point and a half, and about a point of value on Nevada in that game. So, Hawks money line, no Hawks money line. The Coyotes are red hot right now. Yotes in the over. I can definitely see Yotes in the over. Blackhawks money line. Good luck. Here's the thing. Blackhawks can win this game. That's fine. Just I need 4 goals from the Oaks, and I can care less after that. Harvard and Ball State.
Harvard game means nothing anymore.
Harvard, I have that game projected at a 7, and Ball State have that game projected at a 2. So, not much value in either. What do you get in the price for that Yotes team total? Minus 125. Minus 125 over 3.5 for Yotes. USF. South Florida Bulls. We have them projected as around 8-point favorites. So, NBA Square Parlay, Mavs and Nuggets money lines. Yeah. Texas Tech. Texas Tech for 1 here. Let's see, where is Texas Tech on this spreadsheet? We have them projected around 4.5. So we see a slight value on Texas Tech today. We'll move on. We have 2 games remaining in the NHL. We have the Dallas Stars and the San Jose Sharks. We have the Stars as minus 430 road favorites in this game. The total of 6. These 2 teams just played. San Jose has had a game in between where they lost 4-3 to the Minnesota Wild, but previous to that, these 2 teams went to a shootout. It was 3-2 Dallas in Dallas. Now they go to San Jose in this spot. They were minus 500 favorites the last time these 2 teams played. The Sharks have actually played the Stars pretty tough in previous games. And we saw that the other night where, the Sharks, it's a 50-50 split. The Sharks are 5-3-1 in their last 9 games against these Dallas Stars as well, which includes a plus 140 win last year, a plus 212 win, and a couple of spots where they were favored actually a couple of years ago. So kind of interesting there. Back when the Sharks were actually a decent hockey team. Sharks are better at home than they are on the road. And I'm kind of curious what this number is because I would like to go back to the 2.5 here with the Sharks. I would like to go back to the plus 2.5, minus 150. Never mind. I can get probably plus 2 at a decent price, plus 133, minus 150. I can get, let's see what that is. Minus 150 and plus 133. Minus 107 for the Sharks plus 2. I'm going to move on that. I think the Sharks can keep this game competitive. And I think with the better goaltender in net, because in their last game it was Corona, in net for them, and now it's going to be Kakinen. So we'll see how that goes. I'll take a shot here. Sharks plus 2. Minus 107.
Yeah, I'm not messing with this game. You could have fun. It would be Sharks or nothing. Obviously, I'm never laying minus 400 ever. Never laying a puck line at that number, especially on a road team. And if I believe right, okay, they have Anaheim next. Okay, so it's not like they even have a look ahead spot. No, this is just I don't need to get involved in this game. So you have fun with it. I'm just going to kind of stay away from this one now. Sure. Some of these games at the end of the card are kind of gross. Back to the chat, Nick.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I know.
Let's see. I kind of like the Pacers. Got embarrassed by Spurs and were blown out by the Mavs in their last matchup. If there was a time, Sharks money line, definitely puck line too. Yeah. What up, fellas? Great NBA spots today. Let's talk about it. We will in a few minutes. Dallas Stars owe me money today. Minus 1.5, team total over 3.5. The Sharks, the Stars struggle with the Sharks. Wow, you got to watch out for that one there.
How about an overtime game?
I could see this being a draw again. I very well could. Stars first line, all to get a point. Yeah. Good morning, ESB. Absolutely smashed it. 16 parlay. Paid out, 15 paid out, $399.99. Picture sent it to Tim. There you go.
Nice. Yes,
Louisville. Against Virginia Tech. We have about a half-point edge on Tech. Kings money line. And that'll bring us into our final spot here in this one. We have those LA Kings at home against the Vancouver Canucks in this one here. We have the Canucks minus 115 road favorites, total of 6 in this spot here. And let's take a look at the line history of this one, where it opened up with the Kings as minus 115 favorites. It's down to a minus 104. So we've had a move towards Vancouver, who opened up as a dog, plus 102, and has moved to a pick and favorite. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 108, now a 6 at plus 104. These two teams did just play each other, and the Kings took care of business in that one. But we have 86% of tickets and 80% of the cash is on the Canucks. Lines moved towards them. Makes sense now. 1,500 tickets in. 45% of tickets, 92% of the cash is on the under in this game as well. I have this game projected for the Kings to be favorites in this spot. And I mentioned this a while ago. I think it started with the Colorado game, I believe, right? We've been fading them. We faded Vancouver with Seattle. We faded Vancouver with Boston. We faded them with Pittsburgh. We faded them with the Kings. We did it with the Ducks, which we could have cashed the plus 1.5 puck line, but we would have lost the money line with the Ducks in that game. But I've said this. This is the lull that the Canucks are going through right now. This is a team that knows they're in a playoff spot, knows they're probably going to win the division, and they are up pretty significantly in the divisional race. Because when you look at the Pacific Division, Edmonton's in second. Currently, they do have 4 games in hand, but the Canucks lead the division by 9 points. They have 85 points, which is third in hockey behind only the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. And when you look at what the Canucks have, it is an 18-point lead over what would be the last wild card, or would be the 9 seed that would knock them out. So they have absolutely no concern about missing the playoffs. They really have no concern about the division at the moment because they're up so much. I want to continue fading the Canucks until they figure it out. And I want to do that here in this spot with the LA Kings. And I get it. They just played each other. That's cool. But I'll take the Kings here at minus 108.
Should be a good game. Once again, you got. I like to look at the money puck and see where they're at. By the way, did Florida clinch a playoff spot? They're giving Florida a 100% chance at making the playoffs.
They're pretty close to.
God damn! I can't believe the team. That's crazy. Are they clinched? I didn't think that any team clinched a playoff spot already.
No, they haven't.
That's crazy. Obviously they're thinking that they're not gonna.
They're going to make the playoffs, and statistically, there's no signs of them even showing regression to not make the playoffs.
They're at 88 points. I mean, if they lose every single game, they could still miss, but that would take an absolute lot. I would kind of have to lean the Kings this way too. They've been playing some good hockey.
They've been desperate.
And you look at the Kings, and I know I'm constantly looking at the money puck. They're giving the Kings a 92.4% chance of making the playoffs.
Yep. They're still a good team, and they're still a team that I think can make some noise in the playoffs.
Yes.
If you're looking for a little bit of a long shot, the Kings to win the West is not a bad look.
There you go. It would be a lean towards the Kings, but not betting it. Joe's on the Kings. Robert's on the Kings. Vancouver Canucks. Kings to win. Stetson. You like Stetson today? What do we end up getting for those games, Nick?
I have not capped those yet.
I would kind of look towards Stetson. I don't mind that. Maybe an over in that game.
I would like to see Stetson lose. I did move on Lipscomb to win the A-Sun at 3-1. That is my only future at the moment. I'll probably add a couple today for tournament starting today. So I have to dive a little bit deeper into the tournaments that are starting today to probably grab a team or two to win their conference tournament. The only one I have right now is Lipscomb to win the ASL.
There you go. Kings in the under again.
See it.
Over in Florida, New Jersey. And then I'm all over the USF Bulls minus the 5. I'm going to stop fading them, but I will say this team has already clinched the number 1 seed in the American tournament. But I do believe this is their senior day. They got Tulane and Tulsa left, and a chance for them to go freaking like lose 1 game in conference. Right? They lost to UAB in conference. Other than that, they've been on an absolute roll. They have lost 1 game in this calendar year, and that was on the 7th of January. They haven't lost in almost 2 months. So I'm not going to talk you off of it, but I'm not betting them today, which means they'll win. So there you go. You're welcome. Do spreads matter in conference tournaments, IUPUI and Mercy? Yes, those spreads will matter. Those spreads will matter. Those 2 teams are not winning outright. Lipscomb. Lipscomb. Oh, anyways. Let's hop over from the NHL to the NBA, Nick, and we get a little bit of the Orlando Magic. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let me move over from hockey to basketball so I can start. So I can get the line history here for that. So I can get the betting splits as well. And then we will be able to dive into this card. We have the Orlando Magic minus 8.5 total of 207.5 in this game. Line opened up at an 8. It's up to an 8.5. So we've had a half-point line movement here towards Orlando. Line opened up at a 212.5. It's down to a 207.5. We've had a massive drop since the opening line in this one here. And you guys know my thoughts behind massive drops. I like to go once they drop, I like to try to go over that total. 64% of tickets, 83% of cash on the under, which explains the line movement towards the under, but I mean a 5-point drop. Okay. And then 45% of tickets, 99% of the cash is on the Magic in this game, and the line moves half a point towards the Magic in this spot here. Let me get over to my NBA, where I have this game projected at a 7. So I have a slight lean towards Charlotte on this line, but not something I would want to get after. And then for the total, I have this game projected in the 2 teens. I'm going to start with it, and I know I've been betting a lot of these as of late in the NBA, but I'm going to start my day with an over here. I'm going to start with the over 207.5 here, Orlando and Charlotte.
You guys know I don't lay this many points on a road team. Just not. I know Magic have been our covering darlings this year. They're freaking 40-21 against the spread. I believe that's currently the number 1 team in terms of covering. Yes, and then followed by Oklahoma City, New Orleans, the Golden State Warriors, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Although the only ones that are really like nice are Orlando and Oklahoma City. The other ones are in the 55% range. Now on the flip side, you can go look down in the Atlanta Hawks are still sitting at 31.67. So fading the Hawks every game has been really nice to you. But this is a spot. I'm not going to go after this one. For me, it would be a lean towards the Hornets, just because I'm not laying that many points on the road Magic.
Fair. Yeah, it's a slightly towards the Hornets.
Magic theme is so catchy. Yes. Benchero over points. Sure. Go ahead. Hey, him back in his college state. Why not? Magic. Okay. Speaking of them Hawks.
Yeah, we have them as 3-point road dogs in this game in New York. Total of 216 in this one here. Let's get into the line history in this spot, where we have the New York Knicks. They opened up at a -2. It's up to a -3 now. So we've had a move towards the New York Knicks. Line opened up at a 215. It's up to a 215.5. So we've had a move towards the over, half-point line movement towards the over, and we've had a 1 point line movement towards the Knicks. 52% of tickets, 82% of cash is on New York, and the lines move towards them here. 89% of tickets are on the under, and the lines move towards the over, which is kind of interesting here. I have this game projected for the Knicks to be 6.5, 7-point favorites in this spot. I think that this line's short with the New York Knicks in this game, and I like them in this spot. And I have this game projected way higher than what this is supposed to be. This may be a triple up spot for me because I like the side and I like the total in this game, and I'll probably grab some team total as well. Give me the New York Knicks. We'll start with that. Give me the New York Knicks at -3. Minus 145 is a little pricey for the money line, but if you are fine with that, the money line's not a bad look. New York Knicks team total over 109.5, minus 105. Full game over 215, minus 110. This is a game that grades out really well for me. The line moving towards the Knicks. The market likes the Knicks. The market likes the over with all the money coming in on the under. They've still bumped it up. So I'm going to move on the overs in this game. I'm on the Knicks. I'm on the Knicks -3, minus 105. I am on the Knicks team total over 109.5, minus 105, and I'm on the full game over as well at 215, minus 110.
Yeah, I like the over in this game. I feel like this line's just too low for a Hawks game. Yes, I know I think they've been going under more as of late. Yeah, they've gone under in 5 out of their last 6 games. But this is still I still feel like this is too low of a total. Because you see some of the totals they've been going under was 238.5, 244.5, 223, 238. They went over 219.5. They went under. They would have pushed this number last game. This is an over spot for me. I would lean towards the Knicks as well, just because fading the Hawks is a full-time job. But I do kind of lean towards the Knicks, but I like the over in this game. We'll ride with that. NBA unders have been cashing. They have been, but I'm going to be taking the over in this one. Josh Hart, double-double for the New York Knicks. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a bunch of points. Liberty, -2.5. Liberty Bibberty? Who does Liberty Bibberty got today? Oh, they're 5.5 now versus Middle Tennessee. That's you got a good line on it then if you got -2.5. That's out of this game, Nick, and I gotta play in this one as well.
Yeah, this is one of those games where my initial thoughts on this game, and then I've kind of flipped my initial thoughts on this game because at first it felt like one of those. I feel like I'm getting baited into taking all these points with the Cavaliers, but let's get into it here. Get into line history in this spot, where the Cavs are where the Boston Celtics opened up at a 7-point favorite. They got up to an 8, and that's where they are now. Line opened up at a 218. It's down to a 215.5. So we've had to move towards the under, and we've had to move towards the Celtics in this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow in this spot, where we have 81% of tickets and 80% of cash on the Celtics, explaining the line move towards the Celtics, 9,553 tickets in. 85% of the tickets, 98% of the cash on the under, with the line moving towards the under. Kind of makes sense there. And for me, in this game, I have this game projected around 3.5, 4. So I saw value here at Cleveland. The line moving towards the Celtics makes me a little nervous, but I mean, with the way that the line is, it kind of makes sense. I think this could be a closer competitive game, and this line's moved down, but it looks like the public all over that under, and it's all the way down to a 215.5. This line's gone too far down. And I've noticed this with with all these unders hitting, we're going to get value on the overs, and I'm going to be just probably betting a ton of overs in the NBA going forward at the moment, and this is no exception. Over 215.5 for me, Boston and Cleveland.
There you go. I'm on Cleveland. I think this is a good buy low spot. Why do you think the line's moving? Well, what did we see last from Cleveland, Nick? How about a loss to the New York Knicks by 9 points as a 4.5-point favorite? I feel like everybody saw that and is starting to bet against it. Plus, Who's the hottest team in the NBA right now?
Celtics.
The Celtics, who haven't lost since February 1st. They haven't lost in over a month. Yeah. I think the only team that's going to come close to them in terms of hottest team in NBA right now is the Nuggets, who have won 6 straight. So when it comes to it, yes, the Celtics are one of the hottest teams in the NBA, and the Cavaliers are starting to struggle a little bit. That's why the line's like this. I think the Cavaliers are live in this game. I got them plus 8. 8 or 8. I got 8.5 in this one. I'm on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This feels like a line that's telling us somebody's out.
Not entirely sure, but it could be, but I'm not overly worried about it. Boston Celtics minus 4.5 in the first half for LJ. Boston 20-8 against the spread on the first half on the road in the NBA. There you go. Why is Q's plus 10? Is that right? Yeah, they're garbage. That's why. Leaning Cavs. Lean over. I could see the over in this game too, but I didn't want to go crazy with plays today. So I could have easily gone to a couple of other things, but I chose not to. This one is that one's just Cleveland. This game is disgusting, Nick.
Yeah. We have the Detroit Pistons and the Miami Heat, 11.5 point favorites. Are the Heat total 217.5 in this game. Take a look at the line history in this one, where let's see if this is the case. Small drop, opened up at a 218 down to a 217, or maybe a 218.5 down to a 217. Line opened up at an 11, it's up to 11.5. So we've had a half-point line movement towards the Miami Heat. We've had a move towards the under here as well. We have 93% of tickets, but only 50% of the cash is on the under. And then we have 69% of tickets, nice, and 77% of the cash is on the on Miami. The line moved to half point towards Miami in this game. I have this game projected at 10.5, so it's a slight lean towards these Pistons. And I have this game projected around the 220 range, so it's a slight lean towards the over in this game for me. Not my favorite spot for an over. I would lean towards an over, but no play here.
I'm completely staying away from this game. I'm never laying that many points on the Heat, and I'm not touching the Detroit Pistons on the road, who are 5-26 on the road. Although 16-15 against the spread, so they are a better covering team against the spread. No, I'm not interested in touching this game. So complete stay away. It's a lean towards Detroit, but Miami's starting to heat up a little bit. Miami's trying to get themselves out of that play-in spot and right into a playoff spot. They're currently a half game behind the Orlando Magic and a game behind the Sixers and a game and a half behind the Knicks. So they have definitely an opportunity to move their way in. They've won 8 out of their last 10. So this Heat team is hot right now. But no, I'm not laying 11.5 points on them.
Fair.
Still, if someone's out, even better with Cavs. The Cavaliers are always one of those teams that I'm not really worried about injury reports because they always have something. So, Brown and Porzingis. There you go. Let's head to this game, Nick, which, once again, another game that I just did not want to
Wow, yeah, we have the Pelicans as 9.5 point road favorites, total of 228.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here between the Raptors and the Pelicanos in this game, where we have this line opened up at a 5, and it's gone all the way up to a 9 for the Pelicans. So a big move here towards New Orleans. We have this line opened up at a 231. It's down to a 228.5. So we've had a 2.5 point line movement towards the under. We've had a big line movement towards towards the Pelicans in this game here. Tells me injuries. Also, 94% of tickets, 92% of the cash on the Pelicans will move the line like that. 12,000 tickets in. 52% of tickets, 83% of cash on the over, and the line's dropping in this spot here. And I have this game projected around a 4. I'm assuming there's an injury here that I would like to know about. If there's no injuries, then this is a Raptors or nothing type of spot for this game. And I have this game projected around 229.5. So I think this total is about right. But I would be interested in the Raptors if I'm assuming there's some type of injury there.
I mean, Bruce Brown, Jakob Poeltl, Scotty Barnes for the Raptors.
Why is this line the way it is then?
I don't know. Well, Toronto's not good. Let's be honest with that. Toronto is a bad team. I figure we should all know that. And New Orleans is actually a team that I would actually trust. Now, am I laying 9.5 points on them? No. They're currently sitting in that 5 seed in the West. They're within striking distance of trying to jump the Clippers. But is it something that I really think I'm going to kind of bet on or anything? No. Once again, I'm never laying 9.5 points in a road team. And I'm not interested in backing the Raptors at all. So this one's, once again, a kind of a stay away spot for me. You like Toledo. Who does Toledo got today? Toledo against Miami of Ohio. I would kind of lean the opposite way, but I'm not betting that one, so good luck. And Joe likes the Raptors money line. I'm not going to talk you off a big price like that, so don't let me talk you off of it, but I'm personally not going to do that. Oh, LJ's got something. Take the under. Raptors 11-2 to the under last 13 games at home. There you go, maybe an under in that game. This game is kind of gross to me.
Yeah, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. The Sixers are 3-point road favorites, total of 228.5 in this game. Taking a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have, there we go, there's the right game, there's the right lines. This line opened up at a -1 for Philly. It's up to a -3. So we've seen a move towards the Sixers in this spot here. And this line opened up at a 220.5, which is all the way down to a 215.5. So another big move towards the under in this spot here, which probably spells out another over for me, with 7% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on the over in this game. So that's kind of interesting there, 5,400 tickets in. 98% of the tickets are on the -2.5. 95% of the tickets are on the money line for the Sixers, and we have no cash flow for either. I have this game projected for the Sixers to be about a 1-point favorite in this game, so I thought the opening line was about right. And as for the total in this game, I have this game projected at around 228.5. So I think this line's correct. But if this can, 228.5. Nope. I typed this in wrong. This is a 215.5. I must have typed in the Pelicans total. This is 215.5. No, this is definitely an over. Definitely an over for me in this spot in this game.
It would be a lean towards the over, yes. I personally, it would be a lean towards the Sixers as well. I feel like the Sixers could be an interesting play. This is a Brooklyn team that is just funky, and I actually feel like there's a little bit of value betting the Sixers without Embiid now.
Yeah.
Because with Embiid in, this is a 5.5, 6-point spread, and there's no way I'm touching it. I'm probably betting the Nets. Without him, the fact that there's this close of a spread kind of puts me towards the Sixers. Is it enough for me to want to try to go after it? No. No, I don't think it is. But should be a good game nonetheless. The battle of mid. Obviously, Brooklyn, in terms of playoffs, is 2.5 games behind the Hawks. So they're still within striking distance, I guess, of that 10 seed. Philadelphia is just trying to hold on to being in the playoffs. They're currently sitting in the 5 seed, half game ahead of the Orlando Magic, and a game ahead of the Miami Heat, and 2 games ahead of Indiana. So they still have a lot of work to do in order to hold on to that spot. So it could be an interesting race down the stretch there, but this is a pass spot for me. It would be a lean towards the Sixers.
There you go.
My last college basketball seems fishy is Texas State -3. I like Texas State. They've been a team that I used to bet a bunch in baseball. Texas State versus Old Dominion. It's on a neutral site. Keep that one in mind, because it's a Sun Belt tournament. I can kind of lean that way. I can get behind that.
Oh, we gotta keep in mind neutral site games.
Yes. I got 3 games left, Nick.
Yeah, San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets -7.5 for the Rockets, total 228.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this spot between Spurs and Rockets. Battle of Texas, where we had this line open up at 7.5. It's still a 7.5. Line opened up at a 232. It's down to a 228.5. So we've had a big move towards the under, and we've had no move on the side. the Rockets have been a much better team at home than they are on the road.
Correct.
82% of tickets and 94% of cash is on the under, which explains a lot of movement towards the under in this game. But we've seen basically every game get love towards the under because of the way the unders have been hitting in the NBA since the All-Star break, and I'm expecting regression on that. 78% of tickets, 95% of cash on the Rockets in this game. The line's not moved, which tells me that they're really not worried about this Rockets money. Only 5,000 tickets in there. I had this game projected at a 7.5, so I think this line's correct as for the side. And as for the total, I have this game projected around 228.5. So I think this line's about correct. So this will be a stay off spot for me. Just leans at the moment.
I only got one more play on today's card, and it's in the last game of the day, which is the Suns-Nuggets game. But this one, it would be a lean towards the Spurs, although I'm not really interested in kind of fading the Rockets at home this year. So I'm not laying 7.5 points on them, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing that. This is just a big meh kind of card for me. And another just stay off spot. I promise I do like games on this card, but this one's a no-go for me.
Sure.
I do like I do have a lean in this game, but nothing crazy.
Let's get into it. And wow, this line's dropped an awful lot. This will be an overplay for me. Line opened up at a 4.5. It's still a 4.5. Line opened up at a 252. And it's now down to a 245.5. Power on Bet Online. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 91% of tickets and 83% of cash is on the under, so the public is all over this under here for whatever reason. And then we have 79% of tickets are on the Mavericks. We have no cash flow in this game, though. I have this game projected at 2.5, so I see value with Indiana. I would like to back Indiana after they got beat their last game. And I have this game projected at 249. So I am going to move on this over. That's a starting point. I am on the over in this game. With all the money on Dallas and the line not moving makes me kind of interested in Indiana. And I think the best way to attack this game, and one thing I'm kind of noticing is I only did it with the Knicks, and I'm gonna avoid doing it with basically every other team I'm looking to back today. Is I'm gonna throw the spread out the window, and I'm gonna just take the team total over. I like the full game to go over, and I can get the team total over here as well for the Pacers. I like the Pacers over 120.5 team total. I like the full game over 245.5 as well. I see them scoring 130 points in this game, 130, 135 points in this game. So I'm on the Pacers. Team total over 120.5. The full game over 245.5.
For a Pacers team that was heavy overs, constantly betting the overs in the beginning of the year, they're now 32-30 to the over. The lines have kind of caught up to it. I would lean towards the over in this one with you, Nick, because once again, it's the Indiana Pacers. So let's see, are they still one of the top offensive teams? They're still number 1 in offense and number 28 in defense. 100, except for it's just not as high as it was before. 123.3 points a game, 122 points allowed. So I guess I could see an over in this game. I would lean towards the Pacers as well. Did I get to either one of those? No. I feel like with NBA and why I've been doing a little bit better in the NBA is just limiting myself to a couple plays, because I could have easily went on this card and went, all right, let me bet the Hornets, the Knicks, the over, Cleveland, the over. I could have gone and put 10 plays on today's card. But instead, I limited myself again. I have 3 plays, and the final one's in the last game.
Sure.
Luka triple-double. How about you parlay Luka's triple-double with somebody in this game?
Oh, there you go. We have the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. You have the Nuggets 9.5 point there with total 223.5 in this spot here. Take a look at the line history in this spot. The Nuggets, they opened up as -7 favorites. They're up to a 9.5 now. So we got a 2.5 point line movement here towards the Denver Nuggets, which tells me there's probably an injury to worry about. Booker. Thank you. Line opened up at 224.5. It's down to 223.5. So we've had a 1 point move towards the under with 81% of tickets, 90% of cash on the under. 56% of tickets, 92% of cash on the Nuggets. The lines move towards them here. in this spot. And I had this game around a 4, but that's with a healthy Booker. So this is going to end up being a stay off spot for me. It would be Suns or nothing if I had to bet the side. So that would be the only way I'd be looking at this game is Phoenix. But with that being said, I'll lay off for the last game of the night.
I'm going to be taking the over. This is a Nuggets team that's really this is a healthy Nuggets team now, a healthy Nuggets team, and they are scoring in games now. 130 points, 127 points, 119, 117, the 103 against Miami, but that was a defensive game, and 124 against the Lakers. This is a Nuggets team that is scoring now. And if we can get 120 points from the Nuggets, I think we're good to go in this game. 125 would make it even easier. Nuggets are going to be putting on most of the points in this one. And at the end of the night, I can see the Nuggets tied with the Timberwolves for number 1 in the West. So just, they're big favorites in this one. They're also 24-5 at home this year. So they are one of the best home teams in the NBA. I think the only better home team is the Boston Celtics. Yes, the Boston home this year, which is freaking insane. I like the over in this one. I just can't lay 9.5 points on the Nuggets. Or I don't lay that many points in general. Just because they're my Nuggets doesn't mean I'm going to lay 9.5 points on them.
Would it be Suns or nothing for you? Or
Nope. No, I wouldn't be on the Suns though. Nuggets trifecta from Mr. LJ and Nikola Jokic triple-double. And Jokic finally gets another triple-double. He probably will. That is all the games for today. Before we jump in, before we finish on out, housekeeping, recapping. If you guys need the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff. Appreciate all the support. Check out all the links in the description below. All of those are the social medias. I will say, recapping for today. Here's the baseball. It's coming across the bottom. Rhode Island -1.5 +1. 115. UT Arlington money line. Ryder -2.5. Old Dominion -1.5. Incarnate Word -1.5 +135. FAU, that's against Florida, they're +260. Wilmington even money. Campbell +105 at home versus Carolina. Oral Roberts run line. Undefeated Louisiana Tech run line. Texas -125 versus A&M. Long Beach State, the Dirtbags, +105, and finishing on out with California at +115. In terms of the NHL, my favorite play in the NHL would be the Devils tonight. And then for the NBA, I like the over in the Knicks game. I like the Cavaliers, and I like the over in the Nuggets. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah. In the NHL, CBJ +210, team total over 2.5 as well. Montreal Canadiens, team total over 2.5 -115. Arizona Coyotes, team total over 3.5 -125. Full game over 5.5 -130. San Jose Sharks +2 at -107. And the Kings at -108. In the NBA, Orlando Charlotte over 207.5. Boston Cleveland over 215.5. Knicks -3. Knicks team total over to 109.5. Atlanta New York over 215. Philadelphia Brooklyn over 215.5. Indiana Pacers team total over 112.20.5, and full game over 245.5 as well.
There you go. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys.